If you're looking for budget decks, this video has 3 decks that are relatively easy to put together and can win you games on PTCGO. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sable Eyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to look at 3 budget decks that have no GX cards, no V cards, that are 100% rotation proof, that you could put together today and play beyond August of this year when rotation hits, that not only are good enough to win games, but are also consistent enough to get you some extra wins on top of those wins. So you push yourself up the ladder, earn some coins, earn some packs, that kind of stuff on PTCGO. This also kind of coincides with the Omnipoke League. I haven't put up many videos from that recently, just because things have been pretty hectic, but this round against Celio's network is a pretty solid one. We've got a couple of games from that matchup, plus an extra one because one of the decks bricked, but that's okay. What I'll do is I'll jump across onto PTCGO now. We'll take a look at the 3 lists and then show you one game for each of them. So the first deck that I'm going to show off here is a Runerigus Donphan deck. It has no VMAX Pokemon. The most expensive card in this set, in this deck, is going to be a copy or 2 of Dreamy Revelation Jirachi. This card costs 6 to 7 packs online, and it has 3 of them in there. Apart from that, you should be able to put this deck together relatively easily. How does it work? Well, what we're going to have is we're going to have Donphan attacking. It deals 120 damage for a single fighting energy. We've got a 4/4 line there. 120 damage is a pretty solid amount, and then we deal 20 damage to each of our benched Pokemon. Now you might say, Mitch, that's a bad effect. How are we going to take advantage of that? Excellent question. We also have a 4/4 line of Galarian Runerigus. That's for your Mask 4 Runerigus. For 2 energy, we have the Spreading Spite attack. For each damage counter on Runerigus, put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. And that means we can get a huge amount of damage off for a twin energy, especially after we've set up a few attacks with our Donphan. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and hit into our opponent's active Pokemon with Donphan. Some decks, like Eternatus and Pikarom, are going to really struggle with just the Donphan. Other decks, like Centiskorch or Colossal, those kind of things might not have as tough a time, but when you're dealing lots of damage with Earthquake, you can deal lots of damage to Runerigus. If you can get 80 damage on a Runerigus, that is 160 damage that we can deal with Spreading Spite, which is very, very good for a twin energy. Not only do we have the Donphan to get that damage on there, but we also play 3 copies of Spikemouth, which is a stadium that puts damage counters on Pokemon when they retreat from the active. So what we can do is we can put a Runerigus into the active, attach an air balloon because it has 2 retreat into something like Donphan, Spikemouth will put 20 damage on it, and then we can hit with Earthquake, which will deal another 20 to the Runerigus. And the good thing about Spikemouth is if your opponent wants to retreat, they take extra damage as well, which means that later in the game, Runerigus will be able to get some really good knockouts. So this is our first deck here. If you want this list, it is in the description. All 3 of them are down there, so you can check them out. It's really, really good, and it can definitely win against standard deck lists. I'll show you a game in just a minute. Let's jump into the second list. Or should we throw the game first? No, we'll do the lists first. Probably should have thought about which order I was going to do these when I was actually recording the video. But this is another one that has a similar issue. It's got that expensive Jirachi at 6 or 7 packs. This list plays 4. This is a Bird Keeper based deck. What we're going to do is we're going to try and use attacks from Swanna and from Rowlet in combination with Bird Keeper to try and make it so that we don't need energy to attack. So let's talk about them for a second. Swanna, 110 HP, it's a stage 1, has the ability Sky Circus. If you played Bird Keeper during your turn, this Pokemon has no energy cost, which means that you can use Feather Slice, which is a 3 energy attack, for free, right? You're going to do 70 damage for free, and if you discard a card from your hand, you deal another 70 damage. So that's 140, which is it's a solid amount, right? You're not going to say no to it. We also have 2 copies of Sky Circus Rowlet. Again, if we played Bird Keeper, ignore the attack cost. Wind Shard deals 60 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So what we can do is we can deal a lot of damage with Swanna. We can deal 140, maybe we do it a couple of times, and we can finish something off on the bench with a Rowlet. We've got a whole bunch of other kind of interesting combos that we can do. We've got Energy Assist from Cinccino that can deal damage. We've got Whap Down with a Rangaroo that can deal damage. But mainly we're going to try and get that Swanna off as consistently as possible so that we can get those damage counters on the board. We also have cards like Powerful Colorless Energy, which increase the amount of damage that we do by 20. So if we do get an energy attachment onto Swanna, that means that this Pokemon's going to be doing 160 instead of 140, which will two-shot pretty much anything in the game. And when you consider the fact that you can do that for free, if you've played Birdkeeper, that's an incredibly good combination. Now, of the 3 decks that I'm going to show you today, I'd say this one is probably the weakest of the 3, but it is really, really easy to get your hands on all of these cards. Again, the only thing that you're going to struggle with is Jirachi. One more deck, and then we'll jump into some gameplay. This is the last one here, and frankly, I've got to say, I think this one is one that you should definitely invest in. This Cinderace deck not only has no VMAX, no GX cards, is rotation proof, it's standard rotation proof, but it's also doing exceptionally well in competitive events from the Sword and Shield onwards format. So this deck is definitely worth investing in. Cinderace with 170 HP is a Fire-type Stage 2 that has 2 very interesting pieces of text on it. Flare Striker, the attack, is a really, really strong attack for 3 energy. 190 damage will knock out pretty much everything in the game that's a basic Pokemon, apart from some Vs, so definitely really, really strong. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, that seems pretty weak, but remember, you have the ability Libero, which means that when this Pokemon moves into the active, you can attach 2 basic fire energy cards from the discard pile to this Pokemon. So what we can do is we can set up multiple Cinderace on the bench, switch between them all, power them all up in one turn, and deal 190 damage every single turn for the game. If we can't deal 190, let's just say something's gone completely wrong, again we have Make Do Cinccino, which can use Energy Assist, deals 40 damage, which will be really, really nice against those basic V Pokemon that have 230 HP, and will also accelerate energy as well. So a really, really strong core attacking group of Pokemon here, supported by Gormandi's Snorlax, which we want to have in the active as early as possible so we can draw lots of cards. Another thing that's really interesting about this deck is that it plays 4 copies of Sonya. This is a really, really easy card to get a hold of, and it's incredibly powerful for 2. So what you do is you play this down, you can search out 2 basic Pokemon or basic energy from your deck and put them straight into your hand, which in a deck like this is really strong because in the early game you can play Sonya, grab 2 Scorbunny, put them on the bench, maybe you grab a Minccino and a Scorbunny if you'd like. You can grab those, put them on the bench, and then use Snorlax's Gormandize to draw cards. Or in the late game you can use it to find energy, which you can discard with Make Do, put them in the bin, go into Cinderace, and attack with Flare Striker. So a really, really powerful attacker, a really, really powerful deck. I'd say of the 3, this one is probably the most powerful. Donphan's the one with, I think, the most fun. I think I had the most fun playing that one. And Swanna is really, really cool, but a little bit more clunky. So definitely try these 3 out. I'll show one game from each deck. Let's jump into those now. And thank you very much to Celio's Network for playing these games with me. I really appreciate it. Let's jump into them. Alrighty, we are going to start off with Cinderace here. I think it is the best version, the best one of these decks, so I'm going to play it first up. Well, I mean, you'll see it first up. I've technically already played a game against Celio's Network, but I'm not going to lie to you, it does not show off Donphan particularly well, so I'm just going to do another game with that later on, because I want you to see the decks actually working. Now, we've kind of got a bit of a weak start here. We managed to get the Snorlax into the active, which is good. We're going to draw cards, but we don't have any of our basics in play yet. We don't have those fire basics, those Torchics. No, not Torchics. He's playing Torchics. The Scorbunnies. Thank you. I almost got there. The Scorbunnies that we need. And unfortunately, being moneyed out of that hand is a little bit awkward because we did have access to a Sonya, but here we've got a Scorbunny, we've got an Air Balloon, which is also good, and we have a Marnie, so we're going to be able to do plenty this turn to get ourselves set up, and then we can Gormandize after that, so that's good. Looks like Cilios Network is playing a, what's it called, Torchic Combustion Blaziken deck, and this is the one that's like fighting and fire type at the same time, which is a really, really cool card that hasn't seen a huge amount of play because it's a Stage 2, and Stage 2 Pokemon don't really get a bit of a look in at the moment, which is unfortunate. Alright, let's play down Scorbunny. I'm going to grab Evo Incense here, play that to grab a Cinccino. Then I'll probably throw down this Air Balloon, might put it on the Cinccino. We can put it on the Scorbunny, we'll put it on the Cinccino though, I reckon. It's probably better to put it on the Scorbunny. That's alright, we've got more. And then we will Marnie and see what we can get here. This is a really good hand. We probably don't want to play the extra Minccino down. We do want to get the energy though. We can make do. I think we get rid of that Minccino. Draw a couple of extra cards. We've got a quick boost. We could have used that, but Gormandize I think is probably fine. Grab ourselves some extra cards. We have that rare candy in hand for next turn, so we can get Scorbunny going, which would be incredible. But it all depends on what our opponent does here. Cilios Network plays Marnie again, then we're going to be in a little bit of strife. We're going to have to try and get this Snorlax out of the active. There is a Marnie, okay. And that is one thing that I think this deck does struggle with, is getting this Snorlax out of the active in the early rounds. It's usually not too bad, because what you can do is you can put an Air Balloon and a Fire Energy on it, and then when you switch into your what's it called? Scorbunny? Cinderace, thank you. Oh, wow, there's too many fire starter Pokemon. Can't even remember all of them. When you switch that way, it's normally fine. You normally get what you need out of it anyway, so you get that energy onto the Cinderace. I think it's mainly because I'm just looking at Torchic. I think that's the problem here. What does this Heatmore do? Lick, paralyzed on a coin flip. Okay, that's not really anything to worry about. Let's make do. I'm going to get rid of this Quick Ball, I think. We've found ourselves a Fire Energy, which is good. We have a Scorbunny as well. I think I'm going to put this... Ooh, let's just play down this extra Scorbunny, because we want to get as many of those in play as we can. And then we can attach to the Snorlax in the active. Like I mentioned, if we get an Air Balloon, we can get that out of here. And I'll grab 2 more Fire Energies, I think. And then we can Gormandize for another couple of cards. Hopefully we get something decent. Sonya's okay. This is a bad hand. We're in a little bit of trouble. But yeah, this deck kind of synergizes really well with it, with itself, right? Because you got Cinccino to discard cards, and you kind of always want to discard Fire Energy because you can get them onto your Cinderace really easily. So it gives you that kind of, it's like if you get a Sonya, sometimes Sonya is actually just draw 4 cards because you just grab 2 Fire Energy and then discard them both with Cinccino and get those energies in the bin so that Cinderace can attack with them. I think it's really, really interesting the way this deck kind of works. Here's a Bird Keeper, so we may see a knockout from Cilios Network this turn. I can't remember how much HP Blaziken has. I think it's not going to be more than 190. I think it might be 140. And I don't know how much damage it does, because I think it's got like a Turbo Strike style ability, where it deals like 120 or 130, and then gets a knockout. I can't remember exactly what it is. Looks like, I guess there's the attachment to the bench means that they're probably not going to get the Blaziken in play now. I don't know what's going to happen. We may just see a live coal here, which would be interesting, to say the very least. Okay, so just the live coal. Awkward. What have we got? A Marnie off at the top seems pretty good. What I might do, since I have the rare candy, I'll attach to this Scorbunny. Since I've got the rare candy, I will make do away a Fire Energy now, just in case I get a... Okay, I didn't get it. Now I've missed out on 2 rare candies as well. That's disappointing. We will Marnie, and hopefully we draw into some decent stuff here, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. We've got another Cinccino, so we can discard, I think, the Quick Ball if we want to. Trade that away. Get ourselves another couple of cards. And this is a hand and a half. It's not a particularly good one, but it's definitely something. Now, I said at the beginning of this video that I think this Cinderace deck is the best one, and you would not think it, based on the way that this game has gone so far. But you know, it's a decent deck. It's got lots of stuff that it can do, and it's actually genuinely really good. We're just having a bit of a bad time. Luckily, he's having a bad time of it as well. Rare candy into another, into a Blaziken. Here's the energy attachment, so we may see the first knockout of the game here. Switch is there. There's another, what was that, an Evo Incense. Can evolve a Torchic. Blaziken obviously has that double type, it does 130. It's actually going to do 260 to this Snorlax because it's fighting as well as fire. But luckily, we are, well, we're not set and ready to go. We've got Cinderaces, and what we need to find now is a rare candy if we can. So let's try. A Reboot is not a rare candy. Maybe we want to, like, do we want to just make do, or should we shuffle our deck? What should I do here? I can shuffle the deck with Capture Energy if I want to. I think it's probably worth doing. We can attach to this Score Bunny and then get another Score Bunny, and that means that the rare candy, which there's 4 of them, right, so we shouldn't have too many problems. The rare candy will be shuffled from the bottom. I'm going to get rid of the research here because I don't see myself ever researching away this hand. We get a rare candy, which is really strong. We can put the Cinderace into play. What else can we do? Let's make do away this Quick Ball. See if we can't get... Oh, another rare candy. Fantastic. We'll play down the Reboot, and we'll use the rare candy to get the second Cinderace into play. And now what we can do is we can retreat into the Cinderace. I think we do put the Fire Energy on there because it's free to do so. We don't need to worry about that. We've got a big old Cinderace here, and then Flare Striker for 190. We'll put 2 Fire Energies into the discard pile, and we've taken our first knockout of the game. So we're getting there. That is a powerful Cinderace. It certainly is. Oh, message back. So many energy. Yeah, he's come to what should we say? He's come to wreak havoc. No, we'll say he's come to win. He's come to win. That's all right for me. I can deal with that. We can deal with that. That's not a problem. Okay, so now what? Combustion, Marnie. Alrighty. The good thing about having this Cinderace with so many energy in it already means that we can actually, what can we do? We can actually get an attack off with the active whilst powering up a benched Cinderace as well, which is incredible. It's incredibly good. I'd much prefer this than not. What have we got here? Let's make do. Actually, no, we could probably... No, let's make do. We don't need the energy in the bin now, because we've got 2 there anyway. We've found Sonia and Boss. I think we make do away a Sonia. I don't think we really need multiple of those anymore. We've got 2 rare candies, so we might be able to Evo Incense another Cinderace into play, which is pretty good. Let's get that going here. We can rare candy and put another Cinderace in play. Then we want to use Sonia. We'll grab some Fire Energies. We can attach one of those to the bench. I think that's fine. And then Flare Striker will take another knockout. We've got 2 more Fire Energies going into the bin, which is fine. We don't mind that at all, because we use them to attack. We get ourselves another prize, and next turn, if we have to, we can manually retreat into a Cinderace and power that up. Or, if we get like an air balloon or a switch or something, we'll be in an incredibly good position. Although, to be fair, I don't think we're going to be hoping too much for a switch. From memory, we don't actually play them. So, the Combustion from Celio. Can it become a Blaziken? And if it can it knock out anything on our bench? He's gonna need to do a lot of work to get that knockout because he's already played a supporter. Here is that Blaziken. He'll be able to power up the Combustion on the bench if he has a Twin Energy, which he does, but he won't be able to get the knockout. And this is where we start to see Cinderace coming in clutch, right? We're gonna see a lot of positive things happening now. We're gonna be able to get knockouts after knockout after knockout, which is what we want to do. It's what we want to do. So there's another Blaziken. It's going to be able to Turbo Drive. 130 and accelerating and energy from the discard pile is pretty good, but we can knock the Blaziken straight out again. I don't think this heat more ever comes in clutch at all. I think it's just a bench sitter. No, pardon me. I've got to stop yawning in the middle of videos. It's bad. It's bad, 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 bad. Okay. What do we got? Capture energy, fire energy. I think Marnie might be the play here, but we'll make do first because I like having lots of energy in the hand. If we can get a switch, I'd much prefer. Sorry, not a switch, an air balloon. I'd much prefer to do that. We can get rid of Cinccino. We do not find air balloon, which is unfortunate. But we can grab another Cinderace here with Evo Incense. How many cards do we have left in the deck? 6. Okay. We Marnie here. And hope for the best. Let's attach a fire energy to, I guess this Cinderace. No, let's how many have we got the disc up? Oh, 4. Okay. I think we put one on a fresh Cinderace and then Marnie. We get the air balloon. We can retreat into another Cinderace and attack and take a knockout. And from there, I think we go on to win the game. There's the air balloon, which is perfect. Alright, so we attach to the Cinderace. We retreat into a Cinderace. We get extra energy on a Cinderace. And we attack with a Cinderace. 190. We take a prize. Our opponent cannot take a prize next turn. We find another air balloon off of the top deck, which is genuinely amazing. And this is where the air balloons come in, right? It's because we can switch in between multiple Cinderaces all the time. Like I made a misplay early, getting that air balloon on the second Cinccino. We definitely didn't need to do that. If we had air balloons on all of our Cinderaces, we would have been in an amazing position. But alas, 'twas not to be. Alright, we promote the Cinccino here since he's taken the knockout. What we can do is we can just retreat into a Cinderace. We will put 2 extra energies from the discard pile there. Let's boss out this Blaziken. I think that's probably the meanest thing that we can do. And then take a knockout. And from here, yeah, he just said, I'm going to scoop. I can't stop you from using Libero every turn. Fair enough. Oh, sorry, he's going to scoop, not I should scoop. That is fine. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We'll say... Oh, he's already conceded. That's okay. That's fine. We'll play one more game against Celio's Network. Just FYI, it's 1-1. And then we'll go into another game with Donphan. Alrighty, into our third game against Celio's Network, but the second game that you're seeing, because the Donphan deck just absolutely just died. What do we got here? A Duraludon. Okie dokie. We're playing the Birdkeeper Swanna deck. Now, that's going to be good, because we will be able to one-shot Duraludons. Whilst Duraludons, I think they deal 110. Oh, well, they're going to be able to deal more because they've got the Galarian Berserker, which is frankly a concern. In fact, they'll be able to knock out this Jirachi next turn. Let's see, what do we got here? I probably want to play down a Capture Energy. Let's put that onto the Ducklet. We'll grab... What do we grab? Just a second, let me just double check to see what we've got. We've got a bunch of stuff in the deck, that's good. I think I want another Ducklet. That seems like the best choice. I actually don't know how we're going to win this game. I'm just going to throw that out there. Because the more that I'm thinking about it, I think he's going to be able to, like, power up a ton of stuff. I think we just pass here so we can get the effective Birdkeeper next turn. I think he's going to be able to get a lot of damage off really, really quickly and take knockouts with Duraludon. And then if I knock it out, it's going to be able to just power up another one. So it's going to be rough, I think. But we'll just check and make sure that our deck works. Because if our deck works, then it's a deck, right, that you can use. Worst case scenario, you can just jump onto Celio's Network's channel, and his link is in the description as well, and check out his video when it comes up, because I'm sure he'll talk through his deck lists as well. Plus, you can see the sick Fossil deck that he played. I won't talk about it anymore. That absolutely destroyed Donphan, like completely wrecked it. So 100% worth a look. Jump onto Celio's Network and check that channel out if you haven't already. Alright, we see another Jirachi, Dreamy Revelation, electing not to attack with Duraludon. Wouldn't he be able to get the... Or is it 30 damage, not 50? I thought it was 50 damage. That's okay. Gets the Berserker in play, and another Duraludon, and a switch. So here comes the Power Beam. Bang, knockout. We want a... we really want a Swanna to get rid of this Duraludon. We 100% want a Swanna. So the best way to do that, I presume, is just going to be the Birdkeeper into it. Let's just do it. Probably should have played some other cards. Doesn't matter, we found... Oh, hang on, we can't play that research. Let's just thin out our hand then and see what we can do. It's in moments like this that I really wish that we just had the Dene, because I'd be able to do something. But I can't right now, and he's going to go an extra prize in front. What I'll do is I'll put the Twin Energy on top of the deck. I think it's the most valuable resource. We've got a Jirachi here, so I can retreat into that if I'd like. I think it might actually be worth doing it. Obviously, we know that the DCE is going to be there, the Twin Energy will be there, but we can at least have a look at the other card, which is also another Twin Energy. Excellent. Cool. Cool. Alright, so he gets another free knockout with Power Beam, and I miss my opportunity to get in front on prizes, which is unlucky, but it's okay. Because this turn, we've got a powered up Ducklet, we've got another Twin Energy in play, presumably. Hopefully, he just dead draws and gives us a chance to win that way. So we'll Primate Wisdom, we'll put the Twin Energy on top of the deck. Rotom Phone is actually not a bad card to draw here. We can use that to see if we're going to grab... It doesn't look like we're going to be able to find a Swanna on its own, but we do find Great Ball, so that's good. Means that we are guaranteed to draw into some Pokemon search. And look at this, we've found ourselves our Swanna. I think it's actually worth going for a Great Ball here. We could grab Swanna or Minccino. I like the second Swanna, just to guarantee it. Then what we can do is we can... I think we play down the next Ducklet. And then we can retreat. We're going to go into the Swanna with Energy, because Feather Slice is going to be able to deal 140, which will knock out the Duraludon. We'll get rid of one of the Rotom Phones. And we've got ourselves our first prize. Now, hopefully, the next few cards that we look at here from Celio's network aren't supporters. If he has a supporter, we're in trouble. If he doesn't... Okay, well, it's... Yep. I did mention that. I did say the only thing I don't want to see is a supporter. So, obviously, the first thing that we see is a supporter. It's my fault, though. I shouldn't have said it, frankly. Just should not have said it. One thing, as well, these decks... maybe not this Swanna one, but these type of decks are really good for your evolution and knockout challenges as well. So if you're like early on PTCGO and you're trying to knock out X amount of Pokemon with fire types, or if you're trying to evolve a certain amount of fire types or whatever it is, these types of decks are really fun to play to get those challenges done, because not only are they relatively competitive, so you'll be able to keep playing them afterwards, but they also get through those evolution challenges really quickly and get those knockouts that you're looking for. So that's a good way to increase the amount of trades that you get, like the packs that you get for trades. So I would 100% recommend these types of decks for that particular style of play. And let me ask you this, if you're watching at this point, how would you like a video that talks about how to go from 0 to, I guess, hero on PTCGO, where you start with nothing, how quickly you can get from a 0 card account to a competitive deck list without spending any money? Is that something that you'd be interested in? Let me know. Like the video if you want to see that, and comment down below. Just write 0 to hero in the comments if that's something that you want to see, because I would really love to do something like that, but it's going to take a long time, and I don't know if it's worth it, frankly. So just, you know, just let me know. It doesn't look like a huge amount has happened here for Celio's network. We've given ourselves an extra turn to get an attack off. We can evolve into a third Swanna. We can play down a Cinccino. What we can do is I think we can trade away this Quick Ball. We'll make do and get rid of this Quick Ball and get 2 extra cards. We have a Twin Energy on another Swanna. I can, I think I Primate Wisdom to capture energy to the top, just to guarantee that we've got another attacker next turn. Powerful Colors is really good. Then we can Feather Slice and discard the Swanna to take our second knockout of the game. So, we're getting there. We're starting to look like we might actually be in a good spot here. We don't know what Celio is playing beyond these Duraludons, and he's not the type of guy to come in without a backup attacker. Okay, well, speak and it shall appear. We've got ourselves Galarian Stunfisk with Grip and Squeeze. 90 damage, plus 10 from the plus 20 from the Galarian Berserker is going to knock out our Swannas. Looks like he's got a second one here. I think that means he can actually knock me out with Duraludon's first attack. 30, 50, 70 is going to be a knockout easily. So if he wants, he can go into Duraludon here, take the knockout, and then that's going to be very, very awkward. He's going to be able to Metal Sharpener. It looks like he does. And I think I've just gone from having a relatively cruisy time to having a relatively rough time. Because what's going to happen now, we're going to be able to get the knockout here, but that Stunfisk is actually going to ruin our day because it's going to be able to take a knockout and put damage on a Swanna, which I don't like. We're going to be able to get Capture Energy off here. We can grab another, not Minccino, I meant to click Ducklet there. And we can also, let's just Primate Wisdom the Power Pad to the top maybe, and see what we get. Air Balloon, it's fine. We can do that away, get rid of that. We don't really care about Air Balloons at this point. A Bird Keeper's pretty good though. Bird Keeper means we can go into the Swanna with 1 energy on it. Because this means we can attack here regardless. We can chuck down Cinccino, and then we'll be able to make do again, get rid of the Great Ball maybe. And then there's a Rotom Phone. I think that's going to be our discard. We probably play the Power Pad first though to get our Bird Keepers back, just in case. And then we can Feather Slice using the discard effect to get rid of Rotom Phone and knock out the active. Okay, so it's the important thing for us here. Celio's about to get a knockout with this Stunfisk. Because he's going to do 90 plus 20 plus 20 for the 2 Berserkers. So that'll knock out. Then he's got Counter Attack, which puts 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon the next time, right? So what's going to happen is he's going to attack with Stunfisk, knock me out. I'm going to attack with Swanna and get knocked down. Then he's going to be able to quite easily get another Duraludon powered up. I don't think... maybe he can't knock us out. Maybe he needs... okay, well, he's got a Metal Saucer there. Maybe he needs... oh, he's going to put that onto the Stunfisk. He doesn't have an energy attachment, perhaps. It's going to be hard because he needs 3 attachments to win the game. Right? 3 attachments required to win the game. So he needs to get a Metal Saucer and 2 energy attachments to get the knockout with Duraludon. And if he does that, then he'll win. If he doesn't, then I've got a chance. Cape of Toughness is really bad. That's unfathomably bad. Okay, we now can't kill this Stunfisk. Yikers. Yikers, yikers. Okay, let's Bird Keeper into Cinccino. We can... because this is going to put 30 damage on me. It has 170 HP. I don't have any way to get rid of tool cards. I don't have Tool Scrapper. If I could knock this Stunfisk out, I wouldn't feel so bad, because he doesn't have the Duraludon with an energy. Is there any way that I can get around this? I think we might do a Rowlet. Rowlet's not particularly useful at the moment. Let's Rotom Phone. We can grab the Swanna with the Rotom Phone. That means that it's guaranteed off of the Great Ball, which we can play. I could have also just used a Rangaroo. I don't know why I didn't do that. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. Let's Primate Wisdom the Jirachi to the top, I guess. We don't really need that. Double Bird Keeper in hand is really good. We can put this Swanna down. This is really bad. Because we cannot win this game if he attaches multiple energies. Do we get it with the Powerful Colorless? We don't even get it with the Powerful Colorless because we do 160. We're going to be 10 off. Maybe we put this on the Cinccino then. And then just discard this and try our best. That's a big heartbreak. Yikes. Okay, so how do I go about winning this game now? Another Cape of Toughness, go! Oh my goodness, okay, this is bad. Takes a knockout with Swanna, we take a knockout with Cinccino or Swanna. If he gets 3 energy on his Duraludon, this game's over. Also, I just remembered that I'm recording and I shouldn't sit back like that. I shouldn't sit back like that because it looks very unprofessional. It's so hot in this room, oh my god. It's 37 degrees Celsius today. 37? 37, incidentally, is the amount of presents that Dudley got in Harry Potter. The year before last, I should mention. Alright, so there's the knockout. He gets 1 energy on Duraludon. Do we have a chance or not? Probably not. I think it's gonna be GG. I don't think that there's a way to go here. I don't think there's a point in this game where we win. What we can do is we can shuffle Ordinary Rods back in. Shuffle with Ordinary Rod stuff back in. We'll get the Rowlet and the Swanna, I suppose. Primate Wisdom, the Bird Keeper at the top. It's not particularly strong. And we can capture, grab, nothing, shuffle the deck. Cinccino a couple of times if we want, but I'll just discard the Minccino here, get the prize. We take 30 damage. And now I think it's GG. I don't think there's a way that I can win. So yeah, this is gonna be well played, mate. I don't think I can get there. I don't think we can get there. Because even if he misses, right? Even if he misses, we can't knock out the Duraludon this turn. Next turn. Because of the old cape. The toughness cape means we lose. So you still need the last piece. So you're looking for the thing. Ooh. I thought I was done. Sorry, I guess. I think I'm still done anyway. Even if he doesn't win this turn, then we're probably going to lose next turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. There's the last piece we win this turn. He wins this turn. There you go. There it is. He's got it. GG's. Did that go through? GG's. Oh, it's because the attack animation's on our way. Well, there you go. I think this deck actually was really good. It worked, but we didn't end up winning. That's okay. Alrighty, guys. One last game, because I want to show off the Donphan. We ended up losing to Celio's network, but I actually wanted to show this deck off because I think it is definitely a good one. We've got Yamask and Yamask. We can Quick Ball away the Great Ball to grab Phanpy here. We can then Dreamy Revolution, grab Runerigus, Revelation, sorry. Grab Runerigus, which I don't mind. Then we can play down Yamask and Phanpy. Pardon me. We can throw down a Twin Energy and we can pass. Hopefully this works out. If we manage to beat Colossal with this deck, then it's proved a point. Even though it lost in our matchup against Celio's network, it is still a good deck, and I will prove it. Again, I'm not going to spoil that game, because I think that Celio deserves it himself. Luke deserves you to go over to his channel and watch that video, that game, because it is incredible, the way that he ends up doing it. Very, very strong play, especially for the format that we were playing in. Here comes a Colossal. We've got a second one coming down and a Crobat. I would really like to see, frankly, a Marnie. But, to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. We've got cards that can be played. If I get Dreamy Revelation to find a supporter, then I'll be happy. So, let's have a look-see-do. What can we find? Dreamy Revelation finds a Marnie. I like that a lot. What we can do is we can play down Runerigus. I can switch into Runerigus, actually, and then I will play the Air Balloon to the active, play down the Spikemuth. I know I'm getting a Jirachi as well off of this Marnie, so we've definitely got something to retreat into, which will give us some extra damage with Spikemuth. I can play the Jirachi down. Got another Phanpy. Let's retreat into our Jirachi. That's 20 damage on our first Runerigus. We are almost ready to start doing stuff. We very much need to find a Donphan, though. Once we've got Donphan attacking into this Colossal, I will feel really, really good about it. Because we'll be able to get lots of damage onto our Yamask and our Runerigus, which will mean that our Spreading Spite will potentially be able to clean up some stuff in the late game. I think we might need to hope that they play down a Dedenne, though. Because I think the way this game's going to go is we're going to attack into Colossal a couple of times, maybe use Spreading Spite to get the knockout on the Colossal, and then like knock out a Dedenne with another Phanpy, another Donphan. And it looks like they are actually going for Dedenne here, so that's good for us, because it means that our prize mapping is ready. Right, so we know how we're going to go about winning the game. That's the key, because we need to take 6 prizes. We know where those 6 prizes are now. It's just a matter of whether we can get them fast enough. I would actually say that we're almost favoured in this game if we had a Donphan down. That's how good I think this Donphan Runerigus deck actually is for a deck that has no GXs and no Vs. Is that if we had a Donphan at this point of the game, I would say we're actually in a really good spot. So we will see. Crushing Hammer, very bad. Don't like that. Getting rid of my Twin Energy is bad, but that's okay. Eruption Shot doesn't get the energy. Had he already used a Rangaroo? Perhaps. We can Dreamy Revelation here, find a Donphan, which is super good. Alright, we can evolve one of our Phampies into a Donphan. Then what we can actually do is we can switch into a Runerigus if we want. I'm going to Quick Ball away this Tool Scrapper just to grab something that we don't need. Another Jirachi, we don't need that at this point. We can switch into our Runerigus because we can get some more damage with Spike Myth. If we do attack this turn with Donphan though, Jirachi will get knocked out. But frankly, I'm not too upset about that. Let's play down our Stone Energy, we retreat into Donphan, we get some more damage on Runerigus, and then we Earthquake, which will do 20 damage to everything. Our opponent will take a prize, but frankly, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. 120 damage on the Colossal is a solid start, and we'll see how we go from here. What we could potentially have happen next turn, we have the Twin Energy, we have Bird Keeper, we have Air Balloon. So we could use Spreading Spite on Runerigus to get a knockout on Dedenne as early as next turn, which would be really, really strong. They got rid of our Stone Energy, which I don't like. Frankly, it's quite rude, if you don't mind me saying. We could also, if everything stays as it currently is, because Eruption Shot cannot knock this Donphan out... Oh, he's going to boss. Okay, what's he going to boss out? Is he going to boss out the Runerigus? He is. That's disappointing. Okay, because I was about to say what we could do is we could Bird Keeper into another Yamask, and into the second Yamask and get the damage off of that, but that's okay, we're not going to do that here. They're going to set up their Colossal with 4 energy on it, which is pretty impressive. We'll put the Donphan active. Probably could have put the Yamask active, to be honest, but I don't really mind. Get rid of the Air Balloon, we'll grab ourselves another Yamask here. And then I think the smart play is Tamani. We'll see what we can get off of that. We need another Donphan and a Yamask, a Donphan and a Runerigus, hopefully. Words are really hard. Let's play the Runerigus down. We've got a Great Ball. We've got a good chance of finding a Donphan. Do we get one? Oh, we do get one. We actually get another Yamask as well. Maybe another Yamask is better, but that's okay. We'll go for the Donphan because, you know, if we need to, we can always get a knockout with it next turn. Here comes an attack for us. We're going to Earthquake, do 20 to everything on our bench, and put the active within range of being knocked out by another Earthquake. So if there's no heal here, if there's no Mallow and Lana, which Colossal sometimes plays, then we are in for a pretty solid performance here. If he just chooses to G-Max Boulder, alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing it. We're going to put the Donphan in the active. We're going to attach the stone, then we're going to research. We want to draw as many cards as we can, thin stuff out of the deck. There's a Runerigus, which is fantastic. I will Great Ball here. Hopefully we can find a Yamask. Doesn't matter that we didn't find one. I'll Earthquake. This takes 3 prizes, and it also sets up our Runeriguses on the bench. There's 60 on one, and there's 40 on another. We've got Bird Keeper and Switch in our hand, plus we've got Double Twin, so we can get the Runeriguses to the right numbers. We need one to deal 160, so it needs to have 80 HP, 80 damage on it, and we need one to have 60 damage on it, so that it can do 120. And if that happens, then we actually give ourselves the best chance possible to win this game. In fact, if he knocks out the Donphan in the active, which is probably the thing that he wants to do, if he knocks the Donphan out in the active, we all but wrap this game up with our current hand. Because if he kills the Donphan, then we go into Runerigus, Bird Keeper, Switch, Twin Energy, Knockout, and they can either choose to knock out the Runerigus, or they can do or they can just lose from there, right? And then we have the benched Runerigus, we're fine. I actually think we're about to win against Colossal. Colossal is a meta deck, guys. And we are about to beat it with 8 rares and a couple of Jirachi Dream Revelations, right? Eruption Shot for the knockout. Okay, here we go. We promote the Runerigus that has 60 damage on it. What we're going to do is we're going to switch into Runerigus. We'll deal 20 damage to ourselves. Then we'll Bird Keeper back into that original Runerigus. Deal 20 more damage to our Runerigus. Then we can just Spreading Spite. Right? We can Spreading Spite and then we do, I think, 80. Yeah, 8 times 2 is 16. So we just click a bunch of times on this Dedenne. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 times. And take 2 prizes. And now our opponent needs to deal with our Runerigus in the active, or they lose by us knocking out an Oranguru. If they don't disrupt our hand, we have DCE ready to go. If they do disrupt our hand, we've got a 50-50 shot of finding it anyway, because they're going to Marnie us, and we've got another Twin Energy left in deck. So we're a really, really good chance of drawing that energy, and here's the Marnie. So just watch us miss the 50-50 to find our last Twin Energy here, which would be quite frustrating. To be fair, I think there's another research as well, so we're pretty likely to get it here, to be honest. We found the research, and we found the twin. They knock us out. We don't even care. We've got Runerigus ready to go. 60 damage is all that we need to worry about, because 120 damage will knock out an Oranguru. We need to take one last prize, so we attach the twin, we declare Spreading Spite, and we click a bunch of times on an Oranguru. We just keep clicking until eventually we stop. 120 damage, takes the knockout. We just beat Colossal with Donphan and Runerigus. So there you have it, a bit of a longer one, but I think we've got here 3 really, really cool non-V, non-GX budget decks that you can pick up and play on the ladder of PTCGO with absolutely no problems. Thank you very much to Cilio's Network for those 2 games that we played. All of the decks that you are interested in will be available on YouTube at some point if you want to go to Cilio's Network and check his stuff out. Pretty much every other significant PokeTuber is playing in this round as well, so you'll probably see some other interesting decks. I know that the Bird Keeper one that I played is actually inspired by, in fact it might even be card for card the same as Omnipokes, because I was struggling to figure out what my last deck was going to be after I built the Donphan and Runerigus one. So definitely worth checking those videos out. Thank you for coming along to this one. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.